Alrighty, welcome back to the NHL 24 Online Versus Series, where I play a game with every team, let you know who I like. At the end of it, I'll let you know my favorite teams, players, all that good stuff. We'll also talk about news happening around the NHL. Obviously, a new season, a lot of excitement. So, yeah, let's get into it. The team we'll be playing with today is the LA Kings. I don't know how to feel about the Kings. You know, they won all the cups in the early 2010s, and now they have, I guess you could say, the pieces from those teams, and Drew Doughty and Anze Kopitar are kind of on their last hoorah, the back end of their careers. Still good players, not taking anything away from them. But they just seem very mid to me, very average. I think it's a little above average because I see them as a playoff team as they were last year and the year before. 2 years ago, giving Edmonton a run for their money. Obviously, it didn't pay off, and they played Edmonton again last year and lost. And I don't know, they're all right. I think they're kind of scrambling a little bit to bring in talent to get another cup for Kopitar and Doughty. I saw that a lot in the Pierre-Luc Dubois trade. They gave up, I think, a first round pick. They gave up, man, two icings in a row. That is unfortunate. They gave up Alex Iafallo, gave Velarde, who were two solid players. I don't think Pierre-Luc Dubois is miles ahead Alex Iafallo in skill wise. I get it, he's young and he's big and he's tall and he's physical and he can score goals. But there's a reason this guy has been dealt twice now by the Columbus Blue Jackets. Obviously didn't mix with John Tortorella, not everybody does. It's definitely a hard coach to play for. But then even in Winnipeg said, yeah, we're not going to pay you. We don't think you deserve. I don't know if he was asking for $8 million from Winnipeg. A little cheese right there. But if I'm Winnipeg, I'm not giving him that contract. And if when the Kings come calling with a good prospect and a solid player, and you're kind of in the same boat as we want to get Scheifele, Connor, we want to get these guys a cup, I think Winnipeg absolutely won that trade. I guess time will tell. It's still young in the season. Who knows? Luc Dubois could have a great year. Ooh, got lucky there. He could have a great year. He could pop off for 80, 90, even I'd say 75 points if you get good penalty killing from him. I'd say that's successful. But yeah, I think this team is very solid. I think that was weird. I think if I had to pick the strengths and weaknesses from this team, I think their strength is their defense. Not only from their defensive, but from their forwards. You look at Kopitar, Deneau, now Dubois. Kempe's a good defender. This team heavily prioritizes center depth, and more specifically defensive center depth. And I personally love that. When I played hockey, that's kind of like what I did. I was a defensive center. I didn't score a bunch of goals, but I'd go to the front of the net, kill penalties. And it's a very important role to a team to have that, to have your guys logging these big minutes, have them not giving up goals and having a positive plus minus. I think that's something that doesn't get looked at enough in today's NHL. I know you look back in the 90s how the Red Wings were constructed and how the Colorado Avalanche were constructed. They were heavily based on having their centerman play defense, Steve Yzerman, Joe Sakic. Anze Kopitar is Hall of Famer in my book. I don't know, the captaincy with LA was kind of weird. Dustin Brown was their captain. Who is Ovechkin being that fast? I don't know about that one. Maybe years ago. But yeah, I don't know. I think the Kings do it right. I like how they build their teams. But I really hope they don't reach so far that they set themselves back for a long time, because they still got good young players. Man, this guy's kind of good. They still got good young players, Quentin Byfield, Brent Clark, to name a couple. I want to see those guys be able to flourish after Doughty and Kopitar are gone. And maybe they can be the new Doughty and Kopitar. But they're not going to be able to do that if they're surrounded by bad contracts and no draft picks coming in. And so yeah, I think the Kings got to be careful with where they're at right now. They got to realize what they are and really set up a time frame for when they're going to tear it down and fully rebuild. But for now, they're winning games, top 10 in the NHL points wise, and good for them. I do like watching the Kings. They play a good brand of hockey. But other than talking about the LA Kings, I wanted to talk about who some of the most disappointing teams so far in this young NHL season, because I think there are two that are actually playing tonight in the Heritage Classic that could very much be considered disappointments. In the Calgary Flames, man, I am playing like trash right now. And the Calgary Flames and the Edmonton Oilers. I already talked about the Oilers when I played with them, so I don't want to dive too much deeper into them, but man, how the Calgary Flames have fallen from grace from winning the President's Trophy and looking like almost a lock to go deep in the playoffs. And now they're sitting at... Man, why is this guy's flying around me for some reason? Hold up, let me focus real quick. But yeah, what are they? 2-5-1. That is horrible. They're a good team. They have good. Well, obviously they're not a good team. They have good players though. Man, flip backwards any slower. Jeez. Okay, I'm getting worked right now. I don't think this has happened so far. But yeah, the Flames, I get it. They lost Goudreau to Chuck. I mean, other than that, they still have that team. But, I mean, when you lose your top 2 point getters, it's tough. And they tried to bring in Huberdeau to fix it. And he's just not doing that. Like, he's just not putting up the points. And I don't know why doesn't he go up the boards? And I don't know whether that's... no Matthew to Chuck. Maybe he was a way bigger part of that than I thought. But looking at it, what he's doing in Florida, obviously, he was a massive part of that. But, I don't know, maybe they can bring in a sniper for Huberdeau to work with. You saw how good he was in Florida with Anthony Duclair. Both had career years that year. I think Huberdeau had like 60 assists. So I think if you get Huberdeau in a good sniper, I think he can get back to that being 100 points per game guy. And it'd be nice to see. You don't want to see these... Because he's catching a lot of heat right now from Flames fans, which, hey, I get it. But... I don't know, you hate to see a guy fall from grace like that, especially a top pick who really had a great season. Who really had a great season for the Panthers, gets shipped off and seems to just fall off a cliff. And I don't know, don't love seeing that. But, man, I got to give credit to this guy. He's got me on a 5-on-3 PK. He's good. He plays aggressive. I do struggle with aggressive players. I am not... I tend to play a slower brand, and when I play aggressive people, I speed up and play kind of like to their strengths. So I guess I got to stop. I got to get back to playing my game. Because this guy got me kind of rattled. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, maybe Pierre-Luc Dubois can be an X factor for me in this game. Man, I don't know why they just gassed up Ovechkin. Wow. Okay, no, he's good. He's good. All right, we gotta get some puck movement going. Yeah, no, I don't know what the schemes are for the LA Kings, but I am not a fan of it, if I'm being honest. But another guy I really like on this Kings team, not in the game because he hasn't really showed up at all, but Kevin Fiala is kind of one of my guys. Got him in fantasy hockey because I draft my guys. But I think he's an underrated sniper. He does get hurt a lot, so he doesn't put up the points like some of these other top guys. But when you watch him, he's got such a knack for scoring the puck. You know, he's got a great wrist shot. He's fast. He can pass a little bit. I wouldn't say he's a distributor on the power play, but he can definitely sling it around. And I don't know, I liked him when he was playing with the Predators, and then I really liked him when he was playing for the Wild. And sadly, he's been injured for the Kings, and I haven't been able to, watch him too much. But I still like watching him, I can't. I guess the only other person I really like watching on the Kings would be Kopitar and Philip Deneau, because they're two of the best defensive centers in the game. It's really amazing how, they can get, there we go, how they can get up in the rush, get shots on net, and then somehow always be in perfect defensive position. The amount of endurance that takes is just insane. I got nothing but respect for those guys, and especially Kopitar going into his, oh man, how many years has that guy been in the league? 15, 16? Something like that? Like, that's so, you don't see that. And if you do see that, you see those guys slowing down at that age. But, I don't know, Kopitar, he's obviously slowed down, but it's not like he's not a factor anymore. He's probably their best forward. So, I like watching those guys. Drew Doughty had a really nice slap shot goal. Let's see if we can get one with him. That would have been cool. But he had a really nice slap shot goal the other night. From the point, it was an absolute rocket. Absolutely, the goalie had no chance. There's like two guys screening him. This guy's really using his X factors. Man, can we get a change by field? Been out there for a little bit. Tell me Tom Wilson's beating me on a breakaway. That's crazy. But yeah, sorry if I'm going quiet. Man, this guy's whooping me. I ain't gonna lie. Kings might be my least favorite team I've played with so far. They just, They could run into this problem too. Speaking of that, they don't have that. I guess they don't have that X factor. That guy who is just an insane producer. That's, I mean, they have Kevin Fiala, good player, not a 100-point guy. Kopitar, not a 100-point guy anymore. They need. I think if they brought in a sniper, which they've been trying to draft these like guys who can come in and be 100-point guys. They have not been able to like hit like completely. They've hit, and these guys might turn into 20-goal guys, but for what LA needs, I think they need a guy to come in and score 40 goals. I think they need a 40-goal scorer alongside Kopitar. Did I get a penalty? That might be the game. I think they need a legitimate goal scorer. Arthur Keliev, he was a high round pick. They thought he could turn into that guy. He's not. So, I don't know. Maybe you'll see at the trade deadline the Kings go out and try to get... Man, that was lucky. I should have saucer passed that. I don't know. Maybe we'll see him. Well, maybe we'll go see them get a guy. All right, but his goes right under my eye now. I ain't getting mad. I've had a good run. I think we went 3 games without losing, so this guy deserved it. He played good. It's just annoying, though. Look how fast Ovechkin is. Ovechkin is not blazing down. Also goaltending, I guess, when I think, all right, yeah, this guy's really making me watch the replay. It's awesome. But, yeah, maybe goaltending, too, for the Kings. Cam Talbot has not looked good this season. They are definitely not winning because of goaltending. And I broke my stick. Awesome. Oh, that was a frustrating one. Just felt like everything I did, I couldn't. He just had an answer for it. I think they gassed up the Capitals a little bit. But, yep, that's going to be it for me. Very frustrating game. But I will see you guys in the next one.